Well, the Brazilian seen me fight that night. So it was in December, 2000, I forget what year, 2003, I think. They called me and asked me if I wanted to fight Conan Silveira. Because he had seen me fight there. And he's like,
American Top Team founder.
Yep. And it was American Top Team had their first show. It was the AFC. And I was the main event again. It was versus Conan. And their whole team that night, every one of them won. They clean sweep except for the main event. Oh, whole show here lit him up that night, baby. Lit Conan up.
Well, I think one of your biggest strengths in fighting, as we saw in the Frank Mir fight, and I know we're fast forwarding quite a few years, is it's really hard to submit you.
Yeah.
And like guys burn out, they burn out their energy trying to grab a move, which, like he said in the beginning of the interview, work for 90% of the time. It just doesn't work on Wes. So, that actually was a huge win.
Yep. I guess the UFC was looking at Conan because they were going to bring him in to fight Tank Abbott. Had he beat me there. Mm-hmm. When he lost, they had Tank fight Frank, and then Frank's next fight was me. They brought me in, and I fought Frank. So, and everybody knows where I went.
Yeah, how did that end?
Stomped his guts out. I got the first DQ on the record books.
In UFC history?
Yeah, when the UFC started the rules in UFC 30 with the athletic commissions, UFC 43 was the first DQ.
So that's...
I don't know if that's something to brag about, but you know what I did.
But what happened? How'd you get the DQ?
I stomped his guts in. His head.
Well, here. I mean, if you don't mind me prefacing.
Go ahead and talk about it.
So Frank Wes went out without any skill, like a maniac, and tried to grab Frank. So Frank did a double leg. It was like Wes's UFC debut. He just went out there like a friggin' madman,
right?
Like all adrenaline out. It was just
how was he going to do it, right?
No forethought. Yeah.
Well, better go home.
And you got booed on the way to the ring, right?
Well, yeah, because we were in Vegas, and he was the
he's a Vegas boy.
Vegas guy.
Man, when I was over, did I get booed? They wanted to kill me.
Oh yeah.
So Frank went out there and was just trying to submit Wes, and he was digging his fingers in your eyes. Am I correct?
Put his fingers in my eyes to pull my head up to put me in a rear naked choke.
Wow.
And Wes fought it.
So
I
rolled over.
You said this was main event or no?
No.
Okay.
No, but he put me in that, pulled my head up, put me in it. I immediately put my arm up because I thought, you know what? I've seen him go for arm bars. I think he'll go for my arm if I give it to him. So I put my arm up, gave it to him. He rolled into an arm bar, and when he did, I grabbed my wrist. I rolled over. I picked him up. I slammed him on his head. I could have dropped down and finished
Frank was done.
But I was still in, I don't know.
Maniac
I
mode.
was in maniac mode.
He was in maniac mode.
I stomped his head and got DQ'd.
Grabbed the fence with both hands and used the torque along with his almost 7-foot body and almost killed Frank that night. Yeah.
Took his warrior spirit.
Yeah, right. That's right.
He took his soul.
Stripped him
his
warrior soul.
Like when Ken took Hoyce's warrior spirit.
Yeah.
Are you on good terms with Frank now? Or are you guys talking?
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine, but you never know. I mean, it could be a trilogy.
Yeah, it could be a trilogy. Yeah. So, obviously Wes has fought in the UFC a few times. Well, okay, so that happened, and then they did a rematch with Frank.
Yeah. I was supposed to fight him at UFC 45, and I know I was in shape. I knew I was going to beat him. I knew I was in his head. I knew I could beat him. Well, I was in Texas. It was Halloween. We were in there sparring, and Saul Solis brought a guy in. He was a kickboxer. He threw a head kick, and I blocked it. And when I did, I thought, oh, my God, that felt horrible. I broke my arm in half. He broke my ulna, cracked my radius. Well, I had to call Dana. Dana was he was actually on the phone doing an interview when we called and let him know. And he's like, Wes Sims is out. They put Pat Smith in. Pat Smith couldn't pass all his medicals, so they didn't have a fight for Frank. So Frank actually did a grappling match. He was out of shape, did a grappling show against a guy who beat him, who went on to become big country, Roy Nelson.
There you go.
That's wild.
And when he got beat, I mean, it got him motivated a little bit, so he started training his butt off.
Yeah, I don't think he was in real good shape that first fight for you.
UFC 46, I was UFC 45. Joe Silva calls me and says, if you want a rematch, it's UFC 46. I'm like, Joe, my arm's broken in half. Well, it's January 31st if you want to fight. Well, November 1st, I was in a cast. And I'm like, oh my God. Jesus. So I went out, stayed with Rico Rodriguez in Vegas, and I did nothing but cardio, and I mean, what I could with the cast on. And we literally had that cast cut off. My arm was smaller than the other. I just struggled. But I weighed in at 238. That's the lightest I've ever been in a fight. And that really had me concerned because I knew I wasn't going to have much gas in the tank. Even though I trained all this cardio, I had no fat on me.
You needed a little bit of weight,
I went out there, and after the first round, I just felt dehydrated. I felt horrible.
This is against Mike Kyle?
No, against Frank.
Oh, okay.
Second rematch.
Yep. But he ended up catching me in the second round. I had a crew, though, man. I had Bill Goldberg, Mark Coleman, Rico Rodriguez, Kevin Randleman, and my father in my corner, and we still got booed out of there.
Oh, yeah. That's got to be gratifying, too, right?
Oh, yeah.